welcome to Young Adults Unleashed.
I'm Mark, and this is Maddie.
Oh, I'm Maddie. That's crazy.
Pranked! I'm actually Ashley. I'm the producer of the podcast, and this is Mikey. He's my assistant.
It's true.
This week, we're actually host.
Yeah, we've got two special guests coming in.
But first,
Recap time. Last week we had China Taylor on the podcast, and it was so good. Actually, what happened?
China is amazing. She talked about her story and her testimony. She talked about her life growing up and her journey and some pretty cool stuff. China is actually a low-key celebrity, which is pretty cool. And she talked about how when she ran away from God, her life sucked, but now she's back in a relationship with God and how much better her life is and how much she knows what God has called her to do now, which was pretty cool and super inspiring and super challenging.
Awesome. And this week we've got two very special guests. Very special guests. Two of my favorites.
Yeah. The people who actually birthed this podcast.
The actual hosts, Mark and Maddie.
As our guests.
Oh my gosh.
We are so glad you guys are here.
Woo,
Welcome to our podcast.
Oh, it's so good to be here.
So, I guess we're just going to get straight into it. Our first question is, who are you guys?
After you.
Before you. So
Good.
Sorry.
it's good to be here, guys.
Yeah. It's good
Who
to
am
have
I?
you.
My name is Maddie. I'm a host on this show, but not today. And yeah.
Sick. Mark?
Is that all you are?
Yeah, that's all you need to know.
But we're supposed to be getting to know you.
Awesome. My name's Mark. I co-host the show as well with Maddie. Outside of this, I work as a clinical pharmacist at Shoalhaven Hospital. So that's what takes up most of my time. I lead a young adult connect group also with Maddie. So
I'm also a Connect group leader.
yeah, we love championing young adults and equipping them to be all they're called to be.
Sure.
That's more or less me.
So good.
Yeah.
Just to plug the Connect. It's the best one there is. So
It is.
So true, Mikey.
get in contact. So good.
We actually have a lot of awesome connects in young adults. So if it's not ours, we have plenty out there that can definitely host you.
Yep, and you'll find home there. I think you'll find a connect that will accommodate for you.
So, the next question, which you kind of already answered, but I think you can probably answer it a little bit differently, but why young adults? Like, why did you choose to serve in young adults? Why did you choose to lead a Young Adults Connect? Like, what's your heart?
That's good. You can go first on this one.
I'll go first on this one. Yeah, look, for me, I think with young adults, it's such a hard time to navigate in your life, and you're kind of trying to figure out what you're going to spend the rest of your life doing. You've finished school, you're out into the world, there's so many unanswered questions, and I think it's just a time that is crucial that you don't do alone, and to just get around people. So I think young adults is a very special time, and really, young adults, I believe, carry the future of society, like literally just the next stage. So to help empower them and like I said before, build them into who they're called to be, I think literally raising world changers.
Yeah.
So I believe that God places value on people and loves people, and young adults are people. So I think young adults have value, God values them, and that's why I value them personally, along with everyone else. But I think God's placed young adults on my heart, just to help champion and help, just help.
And I think for me, like, I've been in youth ministry, still loving it. in a different capacity, but in young adults is where I would say my main leadership stream is at the moment. So I think, I don't know, for me, I was in youth while I was a youth and then still doing it a little bit while I'm a young adult, but being a young adult, there wasn't anything in this church till only like the past 2 years. Like we're a very young church, there's a lot of young adults around, but a specific ministry we've never had. So if you were a young adult, you were either on the youth team or you were doing like department leading, or you're in like different areas, and there was never something that was just young adults. So I think when the opportunity arose and Pastor Joel and Pastor Nara and our board were talking, it was definitely something that stirred within me, because I think, I don't know, going through school and like going to college and all that, I'm very much a people person. And doing youth ministry with an amazing team is awesome, and I wouldn't change it for the world. But to hang out with people your own age, seeing them come to know God, it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
So it's just, I think for me, it was like I flourished doing young adults, and I kind of lit up. And I think Pastor Joel saw that, so I think he definitely gave me an opportunity, and I took it.
Awesome.
And I wouldn't change it for the world.
So cool. And I know, especially for me, I've been around a bit longer than Mikey, and I think I started coming to the church just as young adults was really starting to kick off. It was really cool for me. Like, I was just finishing school, and it was like me coming into somewhere where it's like, there was people who were a little bit older than me and could like actually speak into my life and could like teach me a bit more how to be an adult, because I think I was very insecure about like even just like, you know, leaving school, like working full time, like all of that kind of stuff, like very unsure of like where I was going. So it was really cool for me having people like you guys in my world to encourage and support me. So cool. And I guess with that, do you guys have a favourite memory or moment from along the journey?
There's been a lot. Like I can't name one. Like the first thing that comes to mind is young adults camp, and
With
Ryan having
the sausages.
the biggest.
That's where my head
meltdown,
went too. That was great. We love you, Ryan.
Yeah. So I think camp was a huge one. Our first ever young adults camp, meltdowns, pranks, illegal fireworks. It was great. I think just like.
Oh, wait, that didn't happen. The illegal fireworks.
That did not happen.
On
It
record.
was definitely legal.
And also didn't happen.
True.
Yeah.
But yeah, just I can't like. There's just every time we do an event or even Connect, like there's so much weird stuff happens at Connect, and it's great.
Yeah.
Like it's hilarious because we're with people, and people are so hilarious.
I think for me, honestly, my head went to that camp and the prank that was played on Ryan and the guys in his cabin, which I was in his cabin.
Weren't you in the
I was in the cabin, but I slept in my car because I didn't want to be I didn't want to be a victim, and jokes on them because I didn't get pranked. I also had a bad back for the rest of the next day, but it was worth it. For me, honestly, I think my highlight so far is having the chance to baptize some of the young adults, to see the young adults of our city come in, have their lives transformed by God, encounter Him and be like, all right, I'm giving my life to Him because He gave His life for me.
So cool, yeah.
And then just be part of, getting to baptize them and see them make that public declaration of, I'm turning away from my old life and I'm pursuing God now. That for me was definitely my highlight so far.
And just another one, I think, seeing someone from the beginning of their journey to where they are now, like even, because we started a thing called the Kickback, if you don't know, it was like a community thing where it was just a party in my backyard with no drugs or alcohol. But seeing people come into that, like people like Jared and Lisa and Naomi that have come in, have encountered people that will love them and support them and champion them no matter what, to then come to church, to then have like a salvation story, to then getting baptized, to then going on a journey to know God and know the Holy Spirit, to then be asked to be on youth leadership. Like that's just, I've never I've never experienced that before. So that is definitely like one of my things that I'm like, yes, I want to do more of that.
Yeah,
For
and
sure.
because they are like a bit of like your fruit, like it's like, oh, I played a part in that,
Yeah.
and it's like that's something you like as much as celebrating them, you also get to celebrate in yourself with God.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that God lets us do that.
Yeah,
Like, it's obviously, this is all God working in people, but He allows us the opportunity to play a role and actually enjoy the journey that He's enjoying
Yeah.
as well. Like, He's obviously delighting in seeing His children grow in faith and develop and that kind of thing. But He's like, hey guys, watch this with me and be a
Yeah.
part of it. I love that He's inclusive like that and gives us that chance. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
We're gonna play a game. You guys excited?
Yeah,
Yes.
sounds
We
good.
have some special gifts for the game. We have paddles. Oh, can they see them?
no.
Close. Should we? It's gonna work. We have Mark and Maddi paddles, and the game is we're gonna ask you guys some questions, and you're gonna respond with who you think is most likely to be, or that
I like
scenario.
it. I like it. That's
yeah.
good. Keen.
Okay, yeah. So we're gonna start this game.
Mark!
Mark.
You heard it
Mark!
first.
Here's the first question. Most likely to reply to a hate comment.
Ooh. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm going to say Mark.
Yeah, I'll take
Yeah.
it on. I'll take it
And
on
you'd
for
be
sure.
heaps spiritual about it too.
No, I would not. Would
yes,
not.
you would.
Maybe.
Or you'd be really sarcastic.
Yeah, I feel like I need to tone down the sarcasm sometimes.
Yeah.
Located.
I'd say Mark.
Good one.
Okay, interesting choice, guys. I thought it was going to go the opposite way, but you would be more aggressive to reply.
Yeah, that's true. That's why I wouldn't.
Okay, next question. Who would be most likely to fall in love with a fan?
For sure. For sure. For sure.
Well, I mean,
Do we need to say any more about
they
that?
don't. Why? What's wrong with that?
I don't know.
I didn't say anything.
It's the
You know
truth.
what?
Why wouldn't it be Mark? Maybe. Who would survive longer in a zombie apocalypse?
I think I would.
Mm,
What'd you say? Why?
I just think I would.
Same.
I'm not telling you my plan. Do you want to know my survival plan?
We do want to know.
I'm not telling you.
What? Why not?
It's my plan. You'll use all my resources.
Do you have them stored away somewhere?
Who's the bigger drama queen?
No, I'll get that.
I'm sticking with my answer.
I don't know. Why? Why?
I don't know. I just want the attention right now.
Yeah, I take it back.
Classic drama queen move.
No, I'll take that one.
Next question. More likely to get offended by a joke. Ooh. Now you both
No.
have to try and offend each
Are you
other
guys
and
offended
see what
right now?
happens.
You.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did a bit of soul
But,
searching
you know
and
what?
changed your
It's
mind.
very rare.
What, me getting offended?
No, me.
It's true.
Yeah. So it's
But it's still more likely.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mark. Yeah. Yeah. I'll take it.
Who's more likely to go over the top with a prank?
Yeah, probably. I don't really have. Yeah. I need to work on my filters and my limits.
Once we did a prank to Ryan, and I told Mark, he was like, "You need to end this right now. Like, you need to end it. It's going too far. It's getting too serious. You need to end it." And he refused to end it for like 2 weeks, and it really damaged someone. Not really, but it could
It
have.
was so good.
What was the prank?
Oh,
I don't know.
gosh.
Can we tell
No,
them?
I don't think we can say it publicly. But it was good.
Yeah. So he would definitely go overboard with the prank.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Ashley would go overboard out of used to. I feel like you'd be like,
Hey man,
I don't feel like. Have you ever pranked anyone? I feel like you've never pranked anyone.
what type of prank? Because I'm pretty good at trolling people.
No, but like a real prank, like I don't know, catfishing someone.
What? Go for it, like fully go for it.
Yeah.
But it's
Just
just
tell
a
us what you
prank.
did yesterday.
Tell us what I did.
Yeah, when you catfished that person.
Well, guys, I hope that helped you get to know your host a bit better, and I hope you guys now know each other a bit better.
Oh my.
What is the vision/mission of Unleashed?
Would you like to answer?
No.
No.
No, thank you.
I'll take this one for the team. Look, I think for me, or for us, the idea of Unleashed was really, we want young adults to realize that they are released to be all that they can be. So the idea of Unleashed being there's nothing holding them back.
Yeah.
There's nothing restraining them, but that they should go out into their sphere, into their world, and just dominate like a lion would. A lion has its kingdom, it has its domain, and it's the king of that, or queen I suppose, of that domain. So to rule and to reign and to work with excellence and just be that statement. That's kind of what it means to me.
Yeah.
And even just to speak on it from, I guess, a God perspective, like the fact that we have God with us and on our side, and He is ruling and reigning right now. And so from there, He's called us to rule and reign, and to be Him in our worlds. If that makes sense. So just to realize that we're not called to be restrained, we're not called to be held back, but we're called to have an abundant life where we influence, where we impact, where we change atmospheres and worlds around us by acting with excellence, by working with our full potential. Yeah.
And I think, like, even if someone's just watching this just for lols, it's not that we're amazing and we're super great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's a side
let's
note.
be honest.
Side note.
But the people that we've had so far and the people that we are getting are sharing such quality wisdom and knowledge. Like, even back to when we had Ben and Jay talking about relationships, like, even if you're just listening to that, you're going to come out of it a better person. It's either going to challenge you, it's going to locate you, or you're going to be inspired to ask someone out for coffee maybe. And then you can get married and have children, have a family. Great. Or even like with China's story, I think you said it, where it's like, sometimes we don't have to go through things to learn from it. We can learn from someone else's story. So it's not that we're super great and we just want everyone to hear what we have to say because we know everything. Because we don't. We actually don't. And we only know a small amount. But to have conversations, just, I don't know, it sparks something in people and wisdom gets dropped. So even just listening, you're going to come out with something.
Yeah.
And you're doing better than not doing anything to try and improve yourself, if that makes sense. Like, if you're just sitting at home for your whole life or working and not doing anything to better yourself, you're going to be the same person.
Yeah.
And that sucks. I do not want to be the same person I was a year ago. I don't want to be the same person I was a week ago. I want to be constantly getting better and improving and being the best that I can and who God's called me to be. So, and it's conversations like this that help you do that.
So cool.
And listening to people's stories.
Yeah. Love it.
I have a question. Why is betterment good, in your perspective? Because some people are happy to kind of not pursue a better themselves, and they're very comfortable with being them in that moment forever.
It's like when people say never change. Like, Mikey, never change. You were so great. Never change. Like, that is such a sucky thing to say. Like, me being me right now, I'm kind of suck sometimes. So obviously I want to get better. Like, I was in a really bad mood today, but now I'm getting better, and that's obviously something that you need. It's like you have to self-evaluate, and I think you need like solid people around you that can help you do that in a safe place, because otherwise it can be something that's totally taken the wrong way. But to be someone that's constantly getting better, it's a God thing.
Yeah.
And because I think for us, we're striving to be more like Jesus and carry his heart and his presence wherever we go and be the hands and feet, obviously we have to be doing something and getting better in that. Because we haven't arrived. None of us have arrived. If we have, if someone's arrived, please let me know. Because I would
We'll
love
get them
to
on
know
as a
how you
guest.
got there and how I can arrive. But it's just, I don't know, it's just like a daily thing that's like, I want to be the best person I can be for the people around me, for God and myself, and my future.
Yeah.
Because then you can talk it into family and marriage and like raising children. Like, I want to be the best mum. I want to be the best wife. I want to be the best worker. Not in a prideful, like I'm the best.
Yeah.
But in a way of
yeah. And also with that, like, why not do that now? Like, why not become better now so that you are the best parent you can be, or the best like husband or wife you can be? Like, why wait until you're already in that position? Like, I feel like young adults is the perfect age to start actually working on that stuff, because it's going to be easier now than it will be in 10 years. Or like, wouldn't you rather do it now than have to do it in 10 years time? Like, because in 10 years time, if you're already like become better, then you're only going to become like you're going to become better after that. Like,
I think, I mean, I have a few thoughts, but even just stuff like, if people didn't push for betterment and even push for like innovation and stuff like that, stuff like the iPhone wouldn't exist. Kind of thing. We'd still, I don't know what we'd be using to communicate, but it wouldn't be as cool as the iPhone because,
on the street.
yeah, for real. But like, there's just something. I think honestly, there's something inside of us that wants to push for betterment, and I think it's almost like a tug of war inside, wrestling between that push to be better and being discontent with who you are, like content but discontent. You know what I mean? Like content with who you are now, but discontent enough to want to grow. Yeah. And to fight against comfort. I think when we're comfortable, that's when we stop growing. That's when we stop moving. But to realize, if, like we said at the beginning of the podcast, if young adults or even youth are the future of today's society, and we all just stopped getting better, what happens to society and what happens to the world? Right? So, I mean, the thought I had was like, do I want to be a swamp or do I want to be a river? Like the idea that a swamp is just water
I'm just
that's...
thinking of like Shrek.
Yeah.
That is my swamp.
Get out! That was horrible. Yeah, like swampy water, it's stagnant, it's not moving, it's gross, ogres live there, versus a river or a stream is refreshing, like Australian natural spring water, refreshingly good. Do I want to be a swamp or do I want to be refreshing to the people around me and bring life to them? So I think springs and rivers are refreshingly good because the water's constantly flowing and moving and progressing. When the water stops moving and progressing, that's when it becomes a swamp, and swamps are gross.
And I think like it's our responsibility. Like, it's no one else's responsibility to make you better. It's yours. So you can either stay swampy, or you can stay flowy. You know.
So I think you do it for yourself. You do it for the people around you, because you're refreshing to them. And honestly, big picture, you do it for society and you do it for the world.
Because
you do it for your kids. You do it for the future generations. Like,
realistically, a few people will do it and they'll change the world and they'll create Apple and Amazon and Google. There'll be a few people that do it, but we actually all have the potential to do it.
And those are all people, they're lions that have dominated their kingdom. Like, they've learned, okay, this is mine. I need to do this for the betterment of my sphere and my kingdom. So that's to bring it back, that's what the podcast is about, of vodcast.
So we heard you talk about Connects and that you guys run one and that it's good. It's good to be a part of it. I love being in it.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, and just, you know, why is that important to you guys that you have a Connect or run one? Why is that important for people to join one?
So
we kind of said it before, like life is not like this. Life is this. Like, it's just constant highs, lows, and to have people around you that when you're at the high, they're partying and they're celebrating with you, that makes the high higher. And I mean, And when you get to the low, careful with how I say this, when you get to the low, they're there with you, they're fighting with you, they're encouraging you, they're standing with you and believing with you for that high that's going to come. Doesn't make the low lower, but it makes that low higher as well. So there's actually a lot of power in doing life together, and it just literally shifts your life to this, I think.
And I think, like, for anyone thinking of they're not in one they like to be, you honestly just gotta do it. Like, I know a lot of young adults, I've realised, like, because we did two things. We did the kickback and we did our connect. Now, the kickback was a community connect where open invite to everyone. It was just a party vibe, nothing too serious. A lot of hospital trips, which was hilarious.
Just come hang out.
Yeah, come hang out.
Potentially
free food.
get hurt.
Yeah, free food. It was great. So we saw a lot of fruit from that. Now, connect is the same thing, but we bring in the element of we're actually going to be more vulnerable and we're going to grow. Like for me and like my connect and our connect, it's always an open invite. Like we're never ever close the door. Like literally my door's always open.
And honestly, that's all of our young adult connects.
Yeah.
It's not just ours. I think that's really, it comes from the heart of our leadership and the pastors that are in our church. So it's always open invite. It's always come as you are. There's no agenda. You don't need to pretend. It's just come and be part of the family.
Yeah. So it can be scary, but it's not. Like honestly, like especially our connect, if you're new, you are like the most popular person in the room.
It's true. It's because we ask you a billion questions.
Yeah, and it's like you might get put on
seat.
hot seat, but every person that's done it has walked away and been like, that was the best night I've ever had. Because if we're gonna be real for a second, no matter who you are, and you might be like, I don't like being the center of attention. Everyone loves being the center of attention a little bit, and they like people to about them. So it's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
If you're thinking about coming tonight, please do. I would love to be.
And also the thing that I really love about like our Young Adults Connect, and I feel like all the Young Adults Connect in our church do it as well to a degree, but with ours, I feel like we're all young, like there's really no one in our Connect that is married, and so we don't have anything better to do, so there's always other things going on, and so it's like, you said that Connect only happens once a fortnight, but it doesn't. Like we're always hanging out. And it is like you. It's not just like a dinner once a fortnight, like fun. But it's like we're gonna do stuff like. And I feel like all of us know that we can go to you guys with our like struggles or with even with our achievements, and it's like there will be people to love and celebrate us and support us.
And even if you look at it biblically, Jesus always sat down with his disciples and had food and had like a good time. So it's like that's just what Connect is.
It's a chance to do life together, but also remember that Connect groups have their leaders and they have the people in the Connect group. So it's a chance for the people to do life together and to learn from the people that are leading them. And then that way it's almost like there's an overflow, and then they can have their own Connect groups so that the people that they lead can grow as well. It's that whole follow me as I follow Christ vibe that Paul kind of uses. But just to speak on that, I do have better things to do than Connect group. Just want to put that out there. But I think Connect group is so valuable and so important.
Me neither.
I'm sold out to the mission of God.
Well, that's what it is. I have better things. I can think of heaps of things.
I wouldn't say they're
do.
better.
Next episode. But there's other things you can do with your time. But when you see the value that Connect has and actually how important it is to do life with people and set that time apart, and that time, how powerful it can be, that becomes a priority. That becomes, I'm working my schedule during the week around that because I see the value of it. It's not that I can't think of something better to do, so I'm just going to hang out with these weirdos.
And it's even
That's
like...
me.
The weirdo.
like
I meant I had nothing better to do.
For me, like my whole work career is built around my involvement with the young adults here. Like I'm a volunteer, like I don't get paid for what I do. And I don't think I would want to get paid. Like I feel like that would just be kind of weird. But like even my work, like I refuse to work Wednesday nights.
Yes.
Or I refuse to work Sundays. And if they don't like it, they don't have to hire me. God will provide me another job. That's fine.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, God will provide that. Like
Yeah.
for me, I've always had bosses who have been like, oh, you've got church on, or you've got something on for church. Oh, that's fine. Like you can finish early. Like they've always been super chill,
Awesome.
Yeah.
and they've always like understood that it's one of my priorities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like me being faithful with like making it a priority, God has also been like faithful and has provided me with situations and with bosses who have always just been super generous and great and who've just been understanding towards it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. And honestly, like guys, if you're not part of a Connect group, or if you're doing life alone, or you feel lonely, or you want to be part of community, like drop a comment right now and be like, guys, I want to be part of this, or message us on Instagram, Celebration Young Adults, or Facebook as well. Like just hit us up. Like we'd love to get to know you. We want to do life with you. And it's better together.
Yeah. Because it's worth it.
Because it's worth it.
Well,
Episode 1 throwback. Go check it out if you haven't.
no, but I'm serious though, because it's so encouraging being around you guys all the time.
Yeah.
And I know, like, kind of being outside of that environment and then coming into it, it's weird. It's heaps weird. 'Cause you're like, what are these people doing?
Actually.
And
What are
like,
they on?
What's wrong with them?
well, no, it's hard to figure out because you don't understand straight away that they actually do care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like
And
weird,
it's almost
but then
different. Like it's
Yeah.
weird. Like it's not normal.
but then once you figure it out, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it now.
Cool.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so be encouraged. Come to Connect Group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Or find a Connect group.
Or become a Connect group leader.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You just have to be like 2 steps ahead of someone.
true.
Ooh, the last question is, what advice would you give to any young adults watching?
I think I would give any advice to young adults watching would be, if they're watching and they do feel like how we're saying, please get involved. You don't have to have a relationship with God to come to Connect Group.
Yeah.
You don't have to know Him to come to Connect Group. I think even people that don't know God need community.
Yeah.
And I think my biggest advice is to don't do life alone. Be vulnerable, be honest, but find the safest place for that. And some places aren't that. Some Connect groups aren't that for certain people, and you just need to don't like give up the chase of finding that. So I think that would be one thing I would say is just get into community. And in this season, and yeah, I think in this season that's where I'm at. You just need to stay connected. And this season it's really hard because we're like no one's doing anything. So you need to fight to stay connected. Because when I'm not connected, I get really messy.
Yeah.
I get so feral and I get so gross. So if I don't...
She doesn't present herself.
That's
We're back to
funny.
episode 1.
I'm so over it. But if... whatever.
Feral's a good word.
Feral is the word.
Mongrel is another great word.
Yeah, but you need, like, it's a fight. Like, sometimes, for me, even being an extrovert, like, I will go to any part, like, any hangout, any gathering, any party, I'll be there. But sometimes, it has, like, I have to force myself to go. Like, sometimes I don't want to do it, but I need to be like, nah, Maddie, you need this. These people are good for you.
Yeah.
So you need to fight, or even picking up the phone and calling someone. Like, you just need to fight to do it.
Yeah.
So that's what I'd say.
And yeah, I feel like the best things in life, they don't come easy. And yeah, it's in this season it can be so easy to isolate yourself and just to get comfortable with that. But once this season is over, it's going to be so much harder than it will be now to call someone than to go back out into the world and like hang out with people, because we haven't done that for however long. It's like we need to like continue practicing those skills.
Actual social
Yeah.
skills?
Yeah.
You all need to learn some social skills. Not your, but your.
She was directing
Y'all's
this to
ranch.
me.
Y'all's ranch. Yo!
Dun, dun, Soldier Boy, tell it. You wanna trade bottles?
No.
Okay.
I think for me, I guess my advice, I feel like I can think of so much I want to say.
Yeah.
I don't know what I want to say. I think for me, one of the things I'd like to get across is to fight for discontentment. To fight for not accepting the status quo.
Yeah. It's good.
To not get like comfortable with how things are, how the world is, how you are, but to fight to be better, to fight to improve, to fight to innovate, and kind of like what the heart is behind this vodcast is to get unleashed, get mongrel in your spirit kind of thing, and actually fight for that and be like, no, I want to, like it's not I'm me here in this world and then I go to work and I'm work Mark and then I'm church Mark and then I'm at home Mark. Like I am Mark. I am Mark. I'm saying my name too much. But I am Mark and this is what I bring. This is who I am. So I'm going to go and dominate that sphere.
Yeah.
And I'm going to continue to better myself and work on getting myself better by inviting people to speak into my life and show me where I'm lacking and inviting God to speak into my life and be like, God, show me where I'm lacking. How can I get better? And just commit to growing and commit to that process like we spoke about last week with China. But to grow and then take that growth and take it into my sphere, take it into the hospital, take it into my creative projects, whatever it is, and work there and work my butt off and make things better. Just to dominate and let your roar show that you rule that kingdom, so to speak. So that would be my thing. Just fight for discontentment. Don't get comfortable. Get mongrel in your spirit and just go hard. We can change the world, and I think when people realize that, they'll go hard. Changing your world. If everyone's changing their own little world, the big world changes.
So cool. So inspirational.
So,
and the best thing is if you do it with Jesus.
exactly.
And you do it with the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
And I think I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that. So whatever I speak out of is from my relationship with God. It's not Maddi, like that's who Maddi is. I'm Maddi with God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something sad
No,
about
For
I
sure.
get it.
Yeah, this isn't like a self-help talk or
Yeah.
inspirational speaker that comes to your high school and tells you you're not who your bully says you are. Like, I mean, you're not. If you got bullied, you're not who they said you are. But
Maybe.
this is
What
God.
if you are?
Yeah, maybe that's why they're bullying me.
I mean, if
police.
yeah,
How does that make you better?
yeah, take it on as constructive criticism.
And then punch
No,
them
but-
back.
But we're committed to not being comfortable because God is committed to it. Like He
Yeah.
wants to see you grow and change the world. Like there's a reason we're here.
Yeah.
There's a reason Jesus died, paid the price, and then went back to heaven and hasn't come back yet. Like there's this period of time where He wants to change the world and He's using us to do that. So why not use this time to actually get better? Because if we're sitting like get off your couch, turn off your PS4 and do something. You know what I mean? Like don't get uncomfortable. Like you can play a bit of video games, but I mean like get uncomfortable. There is a king living inside of you kind of thing. Like live like there is. Live like you're on the winning side. Like Jesus has paid the price. Go live that abundant life and do it with Him. Like He's
Preach, bro.
like God's not done with the world and He's using us to change it.
So cool.
You know what I mean? Like, and so we got to let that roar out because if He was done, He would have come back already.
Yeah.
He's not done. So He's using us and we just have that honor of partnering with Him and doing His work
Yeah.
kind of thing. And it's not just there's God's work and then there's my work in, my career or at Macca's or wherever you work. Like they're one. Like God's put you there for a reason. Go roar in that kingdom.
Yeah.
Make it your domain. Because when it's yours, it's God's.
Yeah.
So
Come on.
So cool.
that's me.
Well, I think that's all we have time for today. Super thankful for you guys. I know that you guys have continuously pushed me forward and
helped me improve over the last 2 years and make myself become better. I don't think I would have the confidence to even host a vodcast without you guys. So,
Awesome.
thanks for all that.
Our pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for giving us the opportunity
Yeah.
to be the host.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity to be the guest.
guest,
Yeah. This was fun. I don't think I want to go back to hosting.
You speak to us every
Just
week.
being guest every week.
I
A
have
different
so
host.
much to say.
Yeah.
So today's podcast is a little bit different. We just wanted to kind of share the heart of why we are doing what we're doing, but we have so many exciting things happening.
Yeah.
We might go viral, guys. You have no idea.
You're not ready for this.
I'm not ready.
No, we're not ready. There's
So-
something special getting released very soon.
Yeah, we're not putting a time on it because we need to perfect it.
Yeah, it's gonna be that good. So get ready.
Yeah.
Make
And-
sure you. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, and we also have a lot of special guests coming on.
Yeah.
We've been in contact with a few. Pastor Joel will be on here eventually. We
Eventually.
just want to make it the best before he gets on.
Yeah, just hang in there, Pastor Joel.
But yeah, so we have some exciting things. But I think you guys did an awesome job hosting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for being on
Try
our
my best.
team.
Yeah.
You're
Best
welcome.
team there is.
Yeah,
Mm.
I agree.
And remember, if you want a connect group, hit us up because
Yeah.
we'd love to get to know you and do life with you.
True.
Yeah, and help you find your raw.
Yeah. In saying that, I think it's time to go, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was my
Alright,
goal.
see you guys.
I thought they were never gonna leave.
Yeah, so
Just
annoying.
kidding. We actually love them so much. We're super thankful that they are our Connect leaders, and
Yeah, for sure.
yeah,
Great people.
yeah,
Inspiring.
and we hope that you had the opportunity to get to know them a bit better. We hope that this impacted your life and encouraged you.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, hope you got something from it. Hope it was fun. And yeah, don't forget, like, comment, share, subscribe.
Shout us
You
out.
know?
Get us some followers.
Yeah.
Grow the audience.
You know, tell us what you liked. Tell us
Yeah.
what you didn't like. Be
Yeah.
brutal.
Leave us a hate comment. Mark will reply.
Do it. Yeah. Cool. Well,
Well, that's all for this week, guys. Thank you for watching Young Adults Unleashed.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll see you guys next time.
We won't see you. We'll be behind the camera, but you should
True.
tell them to get us a camera.
Producer camera.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Maybe.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
Good job, guys.